Kia ora te whānau, ko Ange aho. Last week we made our own Bokashi buckets. So Bokashi is a process of fermentation of food scraps for composting. So it's a great waste minimisation strategy. And this workshop is funded by the Auckland City Council Waste Minimisation Innovation Fund. So last week we made our Bokashi buckets. So just a quick recap on that. Basically it's 2 buckets. One is for collecting the liquid from the Bokashi as it ferments. It produces lactic acid from the lactic acid bacteria. And the top bucket you just simply drill holes in. Put your food scraps in here, mix it up with the Bokashi bran, and then pack it down, cover it, and keep it anaerobic without oxygen for 10 days to 2 weeks. And then your waste will be pickled and ready to become a great soil amendment in your garden. You bury it. It is a really good way to deal with your waste. It doesn't emit any carbon. Today we're going to make our own Bokashi bran. So we've made our own bucket, and so today we'll make our own bran. It's really easy to do, so I'll just quickly do an overview and then we can do it. You make a rice wash, which makes a nice starchy carbohydrate for the bacteria. And then you ferment that for 10 days. You take that off and you add it to milk, ferment that for another couple of weeks, depending on the ambient temperature. I've got half a cup of rice, half a cup of water. We make sure you use non-chlorinated water because you don't want the chlorine to kill the bacteria. So the lactobacillus are the bacteria that we are going to culture, and that's just present in the air. It'll be on the outside of the rice. It's kind of everywhere in the environment. And we're basically just getting that till it's nice and milky. Then I just capture this. You don't need lots of it. So that just sits in your back of the cupboard. It doesn't, well, I don't think it smells. Cover it with a breathable fabric. There's some lovely muslin here, or kitchen paper will be fine, so that the air can come in, but you're not getting bugs and flies and things coming. So leave that for a week to 10 days until it looks like this. This is 10-day-old rice water. So it should have 3 layers. I mean, you might have to get up close to have a really good look at the 3 layers. So there's a kind of a carbohydrate floaty thing on the top, and the middle section are your lactobacillus in there. So in this culture we have everything in it. So this will have the bacteria we want, as well as a whole lot of other things, yeasts and bacteria in the air that we're not interested in. So you can't just use this because it's not a monoculture. This is what you use to inoculate your milk. So I use a syringe, so that's a 10ml syringe, and you can pull off your floaties first or just kind of get past them. And I keep going like that and take off 90 mils, or 90 to 100 mils, and then I use that to inoculate 900 mils of milk. Then you just mix it with the milk, and these have got a bit of a nose on them. So that's 10 days, 21 days, in 60 days. These are the trials that I did. All you want now is the whey from there. I might need a hand. Okay, that's right. Looks like it's got that brain kind of texture on the top, and it has separated into curds and whey. I mean, there's a good picture of it in a glass bottle on the handout, which gives you the idea that, you know, there's floating and then there's that milky layer. And so you put this in the whey goes in the compost, or people eat it. It's probably good for you. So this is our lactic acid bacteria. So we have captured it from the wild, cultured it, and then given it a specific food. So only the lactic acid bacteria will survive in these conditions because of the acidity. That's kind of the end point of getting your LABs. That can go in the fridge for up to 3 years. And typically from this process you'll get about a cup, which will last probably a couple of years. So it's not like you have to do this every time you're making your bran. The next thing we need to do is we mix this 1-to-1 with molasses to activate it. It's about 50 mils, so about 2.5 tablespoons. I'm going to use some hot water just to dissolve the molasses, but not lots, because I want it to cool down. I can't, if I add my lactic acid bacteria to the hot water, we'll kill it. Unchlorinated water. Equal amount of our LABs. So now that is ready to spray onto your bran. I've actually put mine in here. At this point you can stop. So putting it onto the bran and then drying it will store the the bacteria for a lot longer. But I've found that I can just use it as a spray onto my Bokashi as it is. So I'm really just getting enough in there so that kind of when you squeeze it, it forms a nice ball, like that, and it's not dripping too much. Then we bag it. It's got to be in the dark, so I've used a black plastic rubbish bag and really pushed all the air out of it when I've done that. And I thought I was going to have to dry this out, so there's nothing much to see that's different, but it's a bit clumpy in places. It still smells, it still smells like nice, like coffee chuff. And there's your bran. And then you want to dry it if you're going to keep it for a long time, so that it doesn't grow mold, the kind of mold that you don't want. So this is about probably 4-week-old Bokashi. So yeah, you're really getting that really lovely white. That's what you want to see. You want to see that white mold. If you've got other kinds of molds, then that's not what you want.